is going?
Oh God! Oh shit! This is
Oh man, I've been doing this shit for so long, and I finally fucked that up like this. All right, fuck it. Here we go. What is going on, Hustleites? What is going on? I'm even fucking up my intro right now. Fuck it, here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go. What is going on, you motherfucking martards out there? It's your boy A-Track Brown. And of course, I am joined with my broadcast brother, my partner in crime, my Hustleite family, my Hustle fam. You know who he is. He is the most Oh, shit, I'm already fucking up. I'm fucking this shit up right now. I'm doing this shit again. So I'm going to start all over again. What is going on, you motherfucking martards out there? This is like my third take on this shit, all right? It's your boy A-Track Brown. And of course, with me, as always, my broadcast brother, my Hustleite family, my Hustle fam. You know who he is. He is the most magnanimous, the most scholarly, the most objective, the most stupendous, the most scholarly. I said scholarly before, but fuck it, I'll say it again in case you didn't hear me. The most scholarly, the most objective, the most magnanimous, the most stupendous, the king of the motherfucking hoopla, and the most glorious man in the YWC, PWC, IWC punditry. Don't worry, brother, I'll get this shit. Professor Chabot de la Cruz, what's going on?
You are doing good. And in the words of Bill O'Reilly, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. And some hustleites don't even know what the hell we're talking about. But you know what? Those inside jokes that you and I have, you and Billy Ray Valentine have, you and I and Michael Davis have. It's always great behind the scenes. But anyway, we're going to do it live. We're going to do it live right here, right now. And I'm going to say this for all the hustleites. I'm going to say this for the people on the Solid Monster Facebook fan page. I'm going to say this to all the people on the Facebook fan page. We had an epiphany hit the professor when he, yesterday when he was on the peacock, watching Monday Night. I said, God damn it, this was a great pay-per-view. This was a better premium live event than Forbidden Door. We had twists, we had turns, we had unpredictability. We had people who wanted Money in the Bank.
Whoa! Wait!
Yeah.
Did you just say this was better than Forbidden Door?
Hell yeah! You want to know what?
I'm gonna end this broadcast. I'm gonna end this broadcast right now. I'm going to end this broadcast right now. You see my vinyls, right? I have no problem shutting this shit down and just listening to my vinyls till 1 in the fucking morning, okay? But go ahead. You already starting off crazy, but go ahead.
It ain't crazy. It's objective. And like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by A-Track Brown. I said, unpredictability on a pay-per-view is so much better than predictability on the Forbidden Door for all the IWC, YWC, New Japan markers. They were screaming in their pants. Some people I already knew personally who was screaming in their pants for one segment, and he made a video about that. I ain't gonna name who did that, but I think
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you hustlers know who did that video, saying he was screaming in his pants. But yet, predictability versus unpredictability. I go with unpredictability all the time. So if we're going to talk about Money in the Bank track, let's talk about Money in the Bank right now because unpredictability ruled in this pay-per-view. Somebody winning the Money in the Bank contract on the female side, like Liv Morgan, long overdue. She was, the months and months of frustration. The only thing I want to say about Liv Morgan, this bitch better stop crying, man. She's got PMS every single week, and I'm tired of her crying. I'm about to lose it against Morgan. I hate it.
You're about to lose our female audience, okay? Women don't just cry because they're on their periods.
Stop crying and put some maxi pads on, Liv Morgan. You have the Money in the Bank contract, and then you cashed it in on the same night against the fattest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey. Stop crying. That's why it took you so long to get this championship, because you keep crying like a bitch. But anyway, we have another person who cashed in Money in the Bank that not.
No, he didn't cash in.
He exceeded the opportunity. He was gifted this opportunity, and he has been deemed by the professor as the white god, Austin Theory. But let's talk about Money in the Bank. Let's talk about these matches. Let's talk about how good it was, how bad it was, how different it was to you.
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll run down the highlights, and you already spoke about Liv Morgan winning, Austin Theory winning, being the unpredictable winner here, and you can't say it was unpredictable that he was even in this shit, but when I saw that it was him, I said this motherfucker's gonna win. So that for me was not the unpredictable part. The minute he came out, I said he's winning. But Liv Morgan winning, let's talk about that. She won the Money in the Bank. She cashed in the Money in the Bank. So, what does that mean right now for Liv Morgan? Somebody who you can, the professor right here will tell you, and I will even applaud them. This was long booking storytelling. It really was. You go back to what Liv Morgan was going through, either getting screwed or coming up short, and the shit that she was going through with Becky Lynch, this, that, and the third, never really getting over. Not getting over. She was getting over with the crowd, but she wasn't getting over her matches. She was losing a lot, and you felt that okay, they gave us a little, happy few moments here and the letdown moments there with Liv Morgan, and okay, they're gonna move on. But Alexa Bliss is back, so we know they're gonna give her that fucking title at some point. Becky Lynch is still one of the top bitches out there. One of the top women out there. So she's gonna fucking get the title. Liv Morgan is like way down the ladder. But no, that was not the case. Liv lived the life that night. She cashed in. She freaking on, and it was another historic cash in, because just like Alexa Bliss, she cashed in on the same night. And a very good opportunity, being that Ronda Rousey was in this match with Jenny Neidhart's sister, the fine, beautiful goddess Jenny, my love. I know you're watching. Don't worry, I got the bubblegum ice cream. I got the cotton candy. I got it all waiting for you. I'm gonna draw you a bath so you can get home, and I'm waiting for you, baby. But Natty lost to Ronda. And it was kind of a sloppy match, but towards the end, it kind of got a little bit better. Natty, I always thought Natty was a good worker, even though they never really gave her her just due. But seeing Liv Morgan come out, I didn't think she was gonna win. I thought Ronda was gonna do some crazy shit and turn heel right there. Then when she won, I thought Ronda was gonna turn heel right there. I said, okay, this is the moment that they turn Ronda heel and make her like Ronda before she left, which was a way more interesting Ronda Rousey when she came back. And people did not care. And they had her smiling. And they had her cutting these shitty-ass promos every fucking week. The only time she ever even made a promo where you maybe dropped your jaw was like, oh, shit, was the last one she did with Natty. Saying the only time you'd be relevant is when you're looking like me. I thought that was awesome. Imagine had she said that shit as a heel. But who knows what happens. So let me ask you this, Q. Is Liv Morgan just keeping that title warm for Charlotte? Because we know she's coming back. Or is she keeping it warm for Bayley? Because we know she's coming back.
That's a good question, too. There's certain opportunities for Bayley and Charlotte to get instant heat, instant credibility back, and, challenging Liv Morgan.
You think Bayley might come back as a heel?
Oh, yeah. Ding dong. Yeah. We got to get Miss Ding Dong back. It was one of the best runs that she had. Let me just say this, because there were reports, I don't know if they're true or not, but I read somewhere that Ronda Rousey advocated for Liv Morgan to cash in on that night, and she said that she deserved to cash in on her and do what she did. So I don't know, I'm just putting it out there, whether it's true or not, but how it is on Twitter track and on social media. Social media, it's got to be true, but maybe... I hope this one is true track, because I think it's a great, show of a gesture by Ronda Rousey. Because again, from the wrestling fans' perspective, I don't think people actually think. I think people think that Ronda just doesn't respect it or take it seriously, or she's been gifted so much because of her status and all that stuff. So I think it's a great gesture of her to advocate for Liv Morgan to at least get this opportunity. So you got to have the rematch track no matter what. It doesn't even matter if Charlotte or Bayley's coming back. Ronda's got to get the rematch, and SummerSlam is just a couple of weeks away. So if she's going to get her mandatory rematch, it has to be at SummerSlam. Now, whether Ronda regains the championship, that's going to be the funny thing. Will Liv Morgan live through the summer as SmackDown Women's Champion. Are we going to take bets on that? Or are we going to set up a PWHustle pool? How many days you give Liv Morgan? Does she ride it out to the summer? Does she ride it out to Christmas at least as a champion? You know, according to track on the last PW Hustle Lights, he's already tired of Roman Reigns having a 2-year reign. So how tired are you Hustle Lights going to be with Liv Morgan crying her ass out every Friday night on SmackDown? Because I'm already tired of it. I'm really tired of crying. So if she has the belt and crying, Jack, I'm on your side. You are right, Jack. I'm going to be tired of a reign of Liv Morgan, and it hasn't even started yet. If she cries on Friday, I'm going to text you.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I have her cry again. I think this crying shit is her thing. I think they're going to run with that. You know how they do. I think it's possible she got caught crying backstage, and they say, you know what, we're just going to keep doing that.
Yes.
I don't think she's going to have that long of a run, though, to be honest with you. I don't see it happening. You know, I think this was just a feel-good moment. You know, if they give it back to Ronda, like I said, she has to come back as heel. But that was the feel-good moment of the night.
But then, Track, if she comes back as heel, guess who comes back as a face? And that's Charlotte Flair. For the respect of women.
Well, oh God, well, here's the thing. You know, I'm not the biggest Charlotte fan, and I can't. I try with Charlotte. I try to tolerate her, you know, but she just gives me this feeling, you know, because I don't give a fuck what anybody says. She's Ric Flair's daughter, okay? I've said it before and I've said it again.
Track, come on, give her credit. She's one of the finest Mexicans out there. Come on.
Well, her shitty ass heavy foot dancing, you know, she's Mexican now, right? She damn sure is. But you know the deal. She's coming back. No matter how I feel, she's coming back. She's gonna fucking get that title. And I don't think it's gonna be a face. She's gonna be typical evil queen Charlotte Flair. She's gonna take that shit off of fucking most likely Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan's gonna cry all over again. And you're gonna be happy because you're gonna be like, fine, take that fucking title off that crybaby. She's the female Kurt Angle at this point, you know, with all the fucking crying, you know, with a broken freaking neck. But that was the feel-good moment of the night. But the moment of the night for me was when Austin Theory, we'll talk about this shit right now, when Austin Theory won the fucking Money in the Bank, and the whole thing was, you know, that's dividing the IWC yet again. IWC, YWC, you know, TWC, the Twitter wrestling community, you know, coining that shit too. You know, all of that shit is dividing us yet again because the whole narrative is, you know, I thought you guys liked young talent. I thought you wanted young talent. Here's your young talent, you know. And I think what people want when they say young talent are young talent that people are behind. Somebody who gets excellent heel heat, somebody who is over as a face with the crowd. Austin Theory was not that. He didn't have this heel heat. They felt that, hey, put him with Vince McMahon, he'll instantly get heat. But the heat he got was, I don't care. You know, long-term storytelling. Hey. Here's me giving them their props. Goes all the way back to when?
November of 2021, where we were at Survivor Series, the man who stole that illustrious egg, and then it's turned into him as being Mr. Money in the Bank. That's 9 months of storytelling. That's 9 months of booking right there of Austin Theory. That's 9 months of him stealing the who's the selfie guy? Damn, I forgot his name. Damn, what the hell's his name? Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze, yeah. I love how people are just ignoring that he's using Tyler Breeze's gimmick. Like, what the fuck? And let me tell you something. You know, I call him the corny version of Sammy Guevara, WWE's corny version of Sammy Guevara, which gave birth to the name The White God because, you know, Sammy is the Spanish God. So, you know, to all our black viewers out there, don't look at me. He called him the White God, not me. it was cute. But it doesn't matter because even though the White God he won, the White God lost to the Black Almighty. You know, he may be on a trajectory to being the champion, but that night he lost to the Almighty. Okay, I just wanted to say that. But here's the thing. Like I said, props on the long-term storytelling. It's just that just because you have long-term storytelling doesn't mean that it's good long-term storytelling, or at least good enough for the people to enjoy. You got to keep it real here, Q. A lot of people just were not really feeling this shit. They really weren't. That's why they groaned when he came out. That's when they groaned when he won. He didn't even get a heel reaction. He got like everybody ate the bad hot dog in the arena that night. They were just like, oh, really? This is the young talent you're going with? Yo, be honest with me. Be honest with me. Be honest with me.
Okay.
Would LA Knight have not been the perfect motherfucker to be in Austin Theory's position right now? Now, granted, he's not as young as Austin Theory, but he is a fresh talent as far as the WWE is concerned. The man has charisma. The man can talk on the mic. The man can go in the ring. You regulate him to be a manager for fucking male models? This motherfucker right now is fucking he's Rick Martel. The only thing he's missing is arrogance. I can dig this if he comes out with his own fucking fragrance, all right? You gotta give the man his own fragrance. The Rick Martel had arrogance. I still have a jar of that shit in my room, okay? But no, I'm just saying. My overall point is, and you can talk on LA Knight or Renee Dupree if you want to, but just let me just say this: it just didn't have the effect that it should have had for what you're trying to do with this character, and just aligning him with Vince McMahon doesn't cut it. Go ahead.
I understand where you're coming from. Here's where I go with this. As far as Max Dupree, LA Knight, or Eli Drake, we go. Tyler Breeze needs to be a male model. Reinstate Tyler Breeze. Rehire him so he gets the model.
Yes. I'm sorry. Let me interrupt. Throw both these niggas away and just bring him back. Just bring him back, and I would be perfectly fine if Renee Dupree was to manage Tyler Breeze if you brought him back. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
But what's your frustration?
Great fucking idea, Q. Great fucking idea.
That's why I'm the professor. But anyway, the frustration you have is you followed Eli Drake's career within Impact Wrestling. You followed Eli Drake's journey through the indie wrestling, and being where he is. Could he have been the guy to go back and forth with Vince McMahon? Yeah, he'd be the perfect guy. He can, talk back and forth with Vince McMahon. He has the charisma. I am not even disputing that. Yes, he does. But again, we are trying to build young stars. And, Eli Drake is in his mid to late 30s. So you're not building somebody right there. So
even in this business, we both know when you're in your mid 30s, that's still considered young.
Yeah, you're in your prime. I get you that. I get you there. I'm just saying, but this is a building block for Austin Theory. This is a building block for even Liv Morgan at her tender age of 24, 25. He's a young star straggler. We got to build for the next 10 years. I like Eli. I like LA Knight. I like Max Dupree. And I even like Mansoor, and Marseille. That shit is gold. I don't care what else. I'll give you the second track. Marseille and Maswa are going to be the Eminem boys. I love the shit. I just love it. I hope they carry M&Ms in the ring and just take it out and just stuff in people's mouths. But neither here nor there. But
it's gonna be the shirts versus the blouse. They came in wearing the same shit that they was wearing on the runway.
That's why it's so gold, track, because we can write this shit. It's so entertaining. That's what it is.
This is the new Velveteen Dream. Fucking Theory took Tyler Breeze's gimmick, and fucking Mace took the Velveteen Dream's gimmick.
Not Mace, Marseille.
Marseille, excuse me, Marseille.
But again, Austin Theory has been shooting up the moon. They've been the stratosphere push. Yes, you're right. For the last 9 months. Where we go from here, he has the Money in the Bank contract. Again, will he try to cash it in on SummerSlam time at the last man standing match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar? And people think, oh shit, not this. or will it be one Superman punch or one F5 track? And then, he'll lose, and then maybe Vince McMahon will scold him on Raw, scold him on SmackDown or whatever, try to punish him. And, you can build empathy, you can build sympathy, and then, turn him into that good guy, a young good guy, a young upstart good guy with the passion to make it. I don't know. You have so much possibility. That's the beauty of this because WWE, you and I, we could be on the Facebook fan pages of Solid Monster or PW Hustle Track. You're already booking this shit 2 weeks in advance, and then when it happens, Track is like, "I told you so. I told you. I told you this." You don't want that. You don't want that. We need a little unpredictability. We need to see these little side, go to the left here, go to the right sometimes, and it just helps make it entertaining and make it so people want to watch and see what's going to happen. Whether it's good or bad, that's a different story about execution. Sometimes the execution sucks on the well, not sometimes, most of the time. Sometimes that execution sucks on the WWE side, but it just at least they're trying something different here, and I applaud them for that.
Well, the only thing, listen, the reason why I don't think is really any different than anything else they've done is because once again, like I mentioned before, and we spoke about this off air, like you were mentioning, the right thing to do if you're trying to really build this guy and you want to build the star, fine. If they're gonna go this route, just don't have him win in his cash in because again, like we said off air. I can't believe that shit.
Inside joke, I was like, inside joke. We already know what this is about.
If he's not cashing in on Roman, he's not cashing in on Brock. And no matter how I feel about the long, first of all, we've already, I don't know if we've collectively agreed on this as a whole, but I've already reserved that Roman Reigns title being dropped to either The Rock or fucking Cody Rhodes. Now, he has 2 titles, so him losing to Brock is fine. That can happen. But even though they said both titles were on the line, so I guess, that's kind of stupid. It shouldn't be. Like, take one off and that's it. But you can't, The Rock or Cody takes that title off Roman. If you go to Brock because you're calling an audible, fine, whatever. But Theory can't be that dude. He can't. They're not doing him any favors if he does that.
But that's the problem because wasn't there supposed to be like this cash in? You can cash in on one belt, not both belts. So now Roman being the champion on both sides, that makes it a problem. You know what I mean? So they kind of messed that up a little bit.
Well, it like I said, it would have made more sense had they gone with Bobby Lashley. But given the fact that you are in a position where you're trying to sell tickets to fill up a stadium, fine, you're going with Brock. But I'm just saying they're not really they're not doing the guy any favors. What you were saying earlier, a few seconds ago, about having him cash in, lose, be punished by Vince, and Vince saying you let me down, and then him going into that character of saying fuck you, I can do this myself. Now Cody comes back. Cody wins that title from Brock from Roman Reigns, or fine, from Brock Lesnar, either or. Then you have him. You can have a face Theory go up with a face Cody, or you can do the ultimate unpredictable screw job. You can have Cody win. You can have that face Theory, this new face who said fuck you Vince, I can do it myself, go up against Cody. Cody screws Theory, becomes heel that night, aligns himself with Vince like fucking Austin did. And Vince says it was never about you. It was about him. This was the guy I wanted. The son of Dusty Rhodes. This is a Rhodes that I can work with. And now you have this heel Cody. And you have young Theory chasing Cody and eventually beating Cody and being over with the fan. Because if Cody turns heel, he's going to get the heel heat. He will, especially with Vince. You will definitely make a star out of Austin Theory if you do that. Go ahead.
You know what you did, Jack. You made heel Cody the physical general manager. You can make him a general manager just to fuck with Tony Khan. You know what I mean?
See, that was my point. Because with Cody being Vince's guy, there's so many innuendos and shots that you can throw at Tony Khan. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, you can have a shit where Vince and Cody are walking backstage and they run into a Cody Khan lookalike and a Tony Khan lookalike, and Cody fucking just pushes that nigga around. You can do that. But now here's the controversy that surrounds this winner, Austin Theory, because I seen this earlier today, and it's starting to make its rounds, and I'm sure come Monday it's going to be getting even bigger, knowing how the wrestling community is. I forgot all about this, but during the whole Speak Out movement, you know, maybe because of the height of where Skrull and Velveteen Dream and Joey Ryan, where they were, you know, you may have forgotten about that. Theory was accused of sending explicit photos to a 13-year-old minor. Now, from what I understand, from what I've seen, he was not, and this is just coming from people that comments that I'm reading, and then I further did a little bit more. But it seems like he wasn't proven guilty, but he also wasn't proven innocent. So you can go either way with it. You know, you can just choose to believe it. You can choose not to believe it. The person who brought this up on Twitter, you know, I think that, you know, maybe she does have a legitimate argument, but the tone deafness in this whole thing would be to have them continue having him and Vince interact. Just because Vince is not the CEO for the next how many months or whatever, doesn't mean we're not going to see the man off TV. We've already seen him make 2 appearances. The man's making more appearances now than he was before. I never saw Vince at a fucking UFC fight ever. He called that shit violence and somebody's going to die. And now all of a sudden he's sitting there with Stephanie, Triple H, and Pat McAfee, who's looking like, you know, the quintessential stud muffin with a fucking brace around his neck. I'm like, come on, this shit is crazy. So it'll kind of be in bad taste, being that this is being brought up again, and Vince is now under investigation, and his old allegations are starting to come up. You can't have these two together on TV. Q, are they really going to do that? Are they really that crazy? We know they pay attention to what's going on Twitter. So what are they doing?
You know, Track, let me just say this. For the tone deafness of Vince McMahon doing what he's doing. By the way, I think at UFC he was given a standing ovation, so I guess the fans are tone deaf too. So, you know, neither here nor there, but that's just the speculation from the professor. But tone deafness, I get you where you're coming from, Track, but you and I talked about this off the air, that the white guy Austin Theory needs a woman by his side. And to be by his side,
we're going to say
is the paralegal who was being thrown around like a toy by Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, allegedly. This shit is gold. It writes itself. She should be. This is a great. You know, if she watches this, I know she's a hustleite. If you're watching this, girl,
I'm hiding my face.
think of this as the greatest settlement. You could be on TV every Monday night, around 2 million fans, and you could be the girl bringing down the white guy Austin Theory. Look at that. That's jungle fever. That's everything. That's taboo. That's interracial love. I could see it right now. Oh, if you pay her extra to do some tongue kissing like Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti do on AEW Dynamite, oh shit, the professor's already. The professor will be coming in his pants, seeing that shit play out on Monday Night Raw. That's how good it is, Track.
This is straight jacket booking. This is not fantasy booking. Okay. All right. Listen, I don't know what the hell.
Long-term storytelling. What are you talking about? That's long-term storytelling. We have affidavits. We got.
I need you to listen to me. Okay. I don't know what you're doing when we turn these cameras off. All right. But if you sell your soul to Satan to run your own promotion, and you get it, don't you dare do this idea. You fucking crazy. How funny, yo! But in the alternate universe, how funny would that shit be to see the chick who's involved in this shit come back to the WWE to be Austin Theory's fucking advocate, his lawyer, his paralegal, or if they really fucking act stupid with this shit and they come up and bring back JoJo to be his paralegal. because she looks just like JoJo. Or they use that ring announcer, Ricochet's girlfriend, because she looks like her too. She can pass for her as well. Yo, oh my God, this crazy, insane, straight jacket multiverse booking by the Professor can only be brought to you by the Professor.
You can bring back Naomi and Sasha Banks. You can have two of them. You can have two side by side. That's the greatest imagery right there for the white guy Austin Theory. But that's neither here nor there. But Austin Theory has a lot of untapped potential. We even said this during the match against Lashley. We don't have to go into the Lashley match because the Almighty won the U.S. title. But I said Austin Theory has a lot of untapped potential. Now I grant you, Track, again with there is no heel heat. There's no legitimate heel heat. There's legitimate nauseating heat that he gets because you don't want to see him on TV. I don't know why you don't want to see him on TV. Again, I'm not trying to be an advocate for him. Maybe I am, but I just see a lot of untapped potential. I just see a lot of future growth with Austin Theory, and I think he just needs a little bit more confidence. He needs a little bit more, charisma on his side. He's already got the selfie gimmick going down. He stole it from Tyler Breeze, but he just there's something else missing. And we're laughing about the paralegal thing, but he might need a chick on his side. You need to copy the Spanish God, woman for woman. You need that.
I think that's making it too obvious if they do that, though. If they give him a chick, but again, it speaks to some type of tone deafness. But then again, you got Sammy Guevara out there making rape jokes, and he's out there with his girl. But that's his girl. That's his fiance. But and there's a difference between making a rape joke and actually being accused of sending some shit to a minor. But in itself, the whole thing with the young talent booking and pushing the young talent, like I said it before. We all know for the most part they always choose. The audience didn't choose Hulk Hogan. Vince did. You watch some of Hulk Hogan's early promos. They were fucking terrible. Watch his shit with Freddie Blassie. His promos were fucking horrible. Okay, so Vince still chose Hogan. He took his time and he went in a different direction with Hogan. And Hogan, when he was presented as this face, was instantly over. Roman Reigns, they chose him. John Cena, they chose him. And no matter what, John Cena was the first representation where people felt someone being forced down their throat, because a lot of people after a while were not really with this dude. They were with him in the early, and I'm not even going to go into the whole thing, but just to make a long story short, that's when you really started to hear the term of being force fed someone. Then you had Roman Reigns, where it was like John Cena all over again. But then somebody, I don't know who it was, they got to Vince and they made this change and it worked. So will we have that going with Austin Theory? I don't know. But this is the way WWE does things. And sometimes, once in a while, they will choose somebody who the audience is already chosen. But especially nowadays, if you choose somebody who the people are not even, they don't really give a fuck about, it's not really going to go over too well. And this is not going to go over too well unless those ideas that we're throwing out come to fruition. If they take their time with this guy, don't just take this guy and make him a champion. You already gave him the Money in the Bank shit, and people are hoping for a Damian Sandow situation with Austin Theory. They're just praying. They're chomping at the bit because they're rejecting the choice that they're making if they're going with this. And with this controversy happening, with it being brought up again, with it being resurrected, it might hurt him. Listen, like I said, don't know if he's innocent, don't know if he's guilty. So I'm not going to sit here and hope for the demise of the man. But I just will say that it's shaky. It's a shaky future for him, with how this works. So in a nutshell, you got this young guy. You gave him the Money in the Bank briefcase. You kind of put him in a fucked up position. He cannot cash in on either man. It is not going to work. It's just not. At this point, it's not going to work. It can work in the future. He might get over in the future. Like I said, we both came up with some pretty cool ways to make this shit work. If it doesn't go down not the way we want it, but just in that direction, it's not going to work for this guy. Unless they do some shit. Now, he's not Roman. with Roman, with the way Roman cut promos, it was easy, as I repeat all the time, it was so easy to see the type of attitude a guy like Roman should have had. He should have been the laid back Kevin Nash type person. Who's Austin Theory? What is his natural thing? Does he even come across as having some natural charisma? There's a little bit of charisma there. Not too much good. He's not there on the mic yet. He could be. He could get better. Right now he ain't shit, but he does have some of the charisma there. So,
but track with the supposed long-term storytelling from November of 2021, where he was this like, I don't want to say innocent little kid doing what he did, stealing that egg from Vince McMahon because he wanted that he was trying to do ruthless aggression. And then, of course, those little vignettes back and forth, he was intimidated by the stature of Vince McMahon in his office. And now the progression right now is Austin Theory has all this cockiness, all this arrogance, all this confidence, that he can rule the world. So, there is a maturation of that character, whether people are resonating with it, like you said. I don't. We're not. It's a wait and see, but it's not just there yet. And you and I, well, for me, I say he's still missing something, and I still think the presentation is he needs a woman by his side. And again, Vince, I know you're hustler. Like you got to listen to. Shit just creates cash. Controversy creates cash. But I ain't going to say it again because I don't want the track just to be like his head down. But anyway, we know he's missing one little nuance for his character, but it's still a wait and see to see where he goes from there. So again, the possibilities are endless.
All right, so you went on saying that you thought this was better than Forbidden Door, which I know for a fact was just the crack talking. But speaking of Forbidden Door did very well for a pay-per-view that was only supposed to be, as we were saying, what was this? Yeah, it was supposed to be for. Yeah, it was supposed to be for like the IWC crowd, for the hardcore fans, And going off some comments that I was seeing in our community section earlier, one would say, or some people who are just trying to find some way to shit on this, that AEW's crowd is a bunch of hardcores. Okay, so there's people who are saying that, but even for a bunch of hardcores, and I'm going to attribute this to a comment that I saw in our community sections. Two cats were going back and forth. One cat was saying that this is not a show that was supposed to be doing this well. They were expecting it to do well, but it wasn't supposed to be doing this well. And I've actually said that myself. I've said that to people online. I've said that to you. This show wasn't really supposed to be doing what it did, but it made $5 million. It's their fifth highest show. And basically,
all enough things. It's there with the all outs for the gate, for the pay. Well, I don't know about the pay-per-view buy rates. That's a little misnomer.
Supposedly it was like 175,000.
I don't know, the
60 something.
No, it's below that track. But I think the thing is, those are AEW fans. Those AEW fans have been buying the pay-per-views of not the Forbidden, but Revolution. I was
about to say, yeah. But with something like this,
they're gonna be there regardless. It wasn't like I was kind of laughing at that notion, like 50,000 people. It was gonna be like 50,000 pay-per-view buy rate. No, you got AEW fans. If AEW fans have already been buying those pay-per-views, why not buy a fifth pay-per-view? It was not gonna go under 100,000. That was,
But here's the thing. There were people out there who were saying that. There were people out there saying, yeah, it's sold out, but let's see what the buy rates are going to be. It ain't going to be strong buy rates. There's going to be a bunch of dorks watching.
But they're not objective like you and I are tracking. We need this reality that even I cannot make fun of that shit and say, oh, we're going to be under 100,000 buys. I knew it was going to be over 100,000 buys. I don't think it was 175,000. I think it was around the range of 125 to 145. But that's still a decent number for Forbidden Door with AEW and New Japan. I think the one thing that we should talk about is the guy who wasn't there. That he made a comment. I don't know if it's storyline. I don't know if this is just him just doing on his blog post track. But Naito, was pissed that he wasn't there. So
I thought Naito was injured. I that was my thing going in. I didn't even ask about Naito because I thought he got injured, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I did see that, and I will say that was some bullshit. Now I hope this is storyline, but if it's not a part of the storyline, why the fuck wouldn't you have that man on this show? You couldn't find anything for him because going in, and especially when I saw the debut of Roosh, who's not all elite. He signed on like some type of per deal.
Per appearance deal.
Yeah, something like that. I thought we were gonna see Los Ingobernables versus Los Ingobernables. But now what do they call? What is Andrade? Los what?
La Facciones.
There you go. So, but then there was a whole CMLL thing. So, Andrade couldn't be involved. Now, yeah. Naito not being on that pay-per-view makes no sense unless this is a part of some story or they'll make it a part of some story, but I that falls on New Japan, that falls on AEW, because I know one thing. Now, you had a very unpredictable appearance by Shibata, which somebody went nuts for. I don't know who that guy is. That nigga lost his shit. Hey, as a Shibata fan, I understand.
Y'all know I ain't gonna say the name, but go ahead.
But yeah, to not have Naito on that show, if the reason wasn't for injury, when Kenta got cleared, it was too late. But you still could have thrown up something. You could have thrown together something last minute. So to have, but this is all about Naito. So to have Naito not in that show really sours me. It does somewhat put a bad taste in my mouth when I think about it, because this man should have definitely been on the show. And I will wait to hear the reasons for it, and I will wait to see what they will do, because we know for a fact that the success of this only means we're going to get another one. And let's just hope and let's just pray, if you're into the praying thing, that the next Forbidden Door show that happens, number one, will be in Japan, and the audience will have the opportunity to actually be an audience, and it'll have less injuries, because this shit was cursed. Something was up with the way this show went down. We talked about the predictions of it, and we saw the fallout of it. We got new IWGP Tag Team Champions. We got a new AEW champion. It wasn't Tanahashi like I thought, and to be honest with you, I was kind of mad at that. We have Jay White.
I think that was the predictability part, because y'all were fantasy booking to the death with the time.
No, I wasn't fantasy booking. I was dead ass thinking that the situation was going to be Tanahashi winning and MJF coming back and taking that off Tanahashi to facing Punk.
Let me remind you, and let me remind all the hustleites, this one thing in terms of working arrangements. And this has been, you could go years, and I can even go with ROH and New Japan. There's a rule. There's an unwritten rule, Trek. You cannot do anything with the World Heavyweight title. You could do anything you want with the tag teams. You could do the U.S. title. You could do that All-Atlantic title. But you can never mess with a promotion's heavyweight championship. You can't do it. Until I'm proven wrong, go back to the tapes. You cannot fuck with people's heavyweight title. I don't care if Tony Khan wants to dream book it where he wants to see Okada be the AEW champion, because you gotta have to do an AEW guy winning the New Japan champion, the IWGP championship.
When I saw FTR win those tag titles, I said Tanahashi's definitely winning, because New Japan just gave them titles, so you're gonna have to do something in return. And I really thought Tanahashi was gonna come out on top.
I actually no, that's what I'm keep telling you. That's the safe title. The TNT title, you could give a New Japan guy that. The TBS title, you could give someone from Stardom that. That's what I'm just trying to say. Do not mess with the World Heavyweight Championship. Until I'm proven wrong, Track, I will come on.
You're right. I'm not even going to challenge you on what you're saying right now, because you're absolutely right about that unwritten rule. I just think that it would have actually made a lot more sense. But then who's to say that MJF won't come back and take it off Moxley? But this was a show that you know, because of the injuries, that I had to be honest. I was not, you know, my hypeness went down a lot because of the injuries. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this question, and this is just me. Maybe this is fantasy booking, maybe this is multiverse, but could you do Forbidden Door 2 concept? Follow me here. The Forbidden Door 2 concept for Wrestle Kingdom. Is it too soon or too early?
Absolutely not. You got people upset that you only have one AEW star in the G1. You know, we wanted more than that. I wouldn't have minded, even though I'm not the biggest fan, I wouldn't have minded Adam Page being in. You could have had at least 4 to 3 AEW guys in that. Well, Adam Cole's hurt right now, but you could have had Adam Page. You could have had, you know, you could keep your Lance Archer. You could have thrown what's his guy's name? You could have thrown Aleister Black in there. You could have thrown Pac in there. You know, you could have even had one of the Acclaimed be in that shit for all I care. Well, maybe not one of the Acclaimed, but somebody, but somebody else. You know, Miro would have been oh my God, Miro would have been perfect for the fucking G1. What? What? Miro versus fucking like Jeff Cobb or somebody? Forbidden Door 2, Miro versus Jeff Cobb. That's Wrestle Kingdom, Miro versus Jeff Cobb. I would love to see that. So no, I don't think it's too soon. So go ahead.
No, that was the question I wanted to throw at you. It's not
too soon. It's not too soon.
Because
no, and
in front of 40,000 or 50,000 in the Tokyo Dome, that makes it bigger than the United Center right there. And for Wrestle Kingdom.
Also, but like I was saying, my hypeness, like a lot of people, my hypeness level for this show went down. My interest for the show went down. But after the show was over, I was like, God damn, they fucking pulled this shit off. They didn't have everybody that you wanted. They didn't have the matches that you wanted, but they damn sure gave you the show that you needed. You had a good show. The last match was fucked up because of an injury, and we come to find out that Adam Cole was concussed during that match, and hopefully that the man, because from what I understand, this is his second, third concussion or whatever, not usually a good thing. So whatever the status is of Adam Cole, hope for a safe and speedy recovery. But with the exception of that, the show, a lot of people would probably say, was damn near perfect. It wasn't even a botch on the fact that, you know, he missed the spot. He legit got hurt. So you can give that a pass and say the show was fucking perfect. From top to bottom, it gave you everything. And I would even go to say, it might be a stretch, that I was right. Cassidy and Ospreay stole the show. That match was off the fucking hook. It was one of the better matches of the fucking night. You know, and I know, you know, our boy the Masked Man, you know, he doesn't think that Cassidy belonged in the ring with Ospreay at all. I'm with that. I agree.
I don't mind.
Like I said, the man can work.
I don't mind match of the night track. I'll go with you with match of the night, but some people on the YWC, I'm not going to call them out, but y'all some delusional motherfuckers with the match of the year candidacy of Cassidy and Ospreay. I'm sorry. Match of the night?
I've seen way better matches than that. I've seen Ospreay have better matches than that. So I would never put that up there. Whoever's doing that, they need their fucking head checked.
I don't have to call his name out, but he's been, you know, he got gassed by Jim Cornette. That's all I will say. So do your homework, Hustleites. But I'm just saying, it's not a match of the year candidacy. Match of the night, track is right. That was. I actually think the match of the night was actually whatchamacallit. Well, the one thing I'll say this track before I say what my match of the night was I think this is just me, maybe nitpicking a little bit, but it is. But Cesaro and Zack Sabre Jr. Cesaro should have won in under a minute. I think the debut would have been way better if he won.
There was no way in hell New Japan was going to allow that shit. No way in hell.
I get with the no way in hell, but I think, follow me here.
No chance in hell.
No, but follow me. Zack Sabre was saying, I don't want nobody but Daniel Bryan. I don't want nobody but Daniel Bryan. Anybody else is beneath me. So you could actually book this. You could have more matches between Zack Sabre and Cesaro, you know, maybe in Japan where he could get the win back because he wasn't prepared for Cesaro. He wasn't looking forward to anybody but Daniel Bryan. And for Cesaro to make that Impact debut that he was making in Chicago, a 1 minute match with a Cesaro swing and just taking him out, I think that they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball.
I know. One person who would have been happy with that, our mutual friend Jeff Lippman, who completely detests Zack Sabre Jr. Well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who would have been like, "What the fuck?" Nah, AEW went too far there, you know. Shout outs to Jeff Lippman.
Shout outs to Jeff Lippman. I'm not detesting Zack Sabre Jr. I'm just saying for the purposes of booking and presentation, Cesaro has had a great week. From Forbidden Door to Blood and Guts and all that stuff. I'm just saying for the presentation,
which was also awesome.
For the presentation of the debut, he should have won in a minute. That's just me. That's all it is.
Now, before we get out of here, you brought up Cesaro, and I just want to say, I want to tell the people, don't just start thinking that Cesaro should get this ultimate push to the world title. Okay, I think he should be champion at some point. You know, I think he makes for right now. You know, put it like this. Whoever takes that title off of Pac, the Atlantic title off of Pac, I think it should be Cesaro. So the first title he gets, in my opinion, is that Atlantic title. He should give Pac a very long run with that title. I don't know how long, but give him a very long run, okay? I don't know if this feud with the House of Black, that has to come to an end. Stop that shit. I don't know if they've officially done that at Forbidden Door. But it was the House of Black and the Death Triangle. That feud's been going on for a very long time. Entertaining as it was, stop it. Okay, I hope they put that shit to bed.
But before we go, Track, we don't know if Cesaro or I have to be correct.
Claudio
is gonna be fighting or have a feud or try to end that feud with Eddie Kingston because they try to play off.
No. We know he's not going to go for that Atlanta title now. So his first will most likely be with Eddie Kingston, and that's fine. I'm just saying that. When they do take that title off of Pac, it should be Cesaro, in my opinion. But I know people are going to complain because he's the former WWE guy. But anyway, let them know where they can find you, Q, because we're about to get out of here. It's been one hell of a show. Been one hell of a show.
You can find me on the Twitter at PWHustle PROF. That's PWHustle Prof. And come on, Hustleites, subscribe to the PWHustle Networks at Podbeam.com, where I host the most nostalgic podcast of all the wrestling podcasts, the PWR podcast with myself and the Tommy Wonders. You know, look on the backlogs because we do things that other nostalgic podcasts don't do. Nostalgic podcasts give you like Raws from from June and July of 1999. We don't do that shit. We give you variety. We don't do that shit. We don't want to bore you. We do the movies. We do rivalries. We do spotlights. We are the best nostalgic podcast out there, and that's
damn right. Now, and let me tell you something. I listen to that shit, and I don't even like listening to nostalgic shit. I'm not just listening because that's my broadcast brother. I'm listening because these motherfuckers are the shit. And they finally got into shit that I'm really loving to hear, their ECW shit as well. So I'm looking forward to because I know we got the next show coming up that I'm going to upload soon. So I'm going to also be looking forward to putting that shit together if I can, if I don't have too many restrictions or whatever. So I'm going to try to do my best with that one because I've seen that actual show recently be uploaded in full on YouTube with people who didn't have it blocked. So I'll see what I can do. Until then, you can always find me here on YouTube on the PW Hustle channel. You can also find me on Twitter at 8Track Dastardly. My suspension is over. The number 8, TRAC Dastardly. Don't forget to also donate to the channel, and I don't know if Q has a Cash App, but if he does, we'll probably get that on there too. Donate to my Cash App as well, because we hustleites, we hustling, we trying to make the money here. And you can also find me in the Facebook group. That's why you got to join the PW Hustle Facebook group, so you can interact with me and Jabel De La Cruz. You can call me out. You can call Jabel De La Cruz out for the shit that we do and say, even not just on the fucking comment section, where they restrict you for saying certain shit, but in the PW Hustle Facebook group, where everything is open. Well, maybe not everything. We do have some certain decorums, okay? So just join up, like, comment, subscribe, hit the fucking notification button. PW Hustle, A-Track Brown, the glorious professor, here with me, and we see you guys next time.